So what we're going to start by doing is just looking at this piece for just a little bit and talking about it, not from an art historical perspective, but more from a cultural perspective, what it says to you here now today.
Something orange and a bag.
Okay.
With holes for the eyes.
He's a person of interest.
But having the eye holes seems a bit too permissive or kind if it's a really severe interrogation. I don't think they would have made eye holes for the person.
Have any of you been a victim at any time to any type of crime? You see things differently once you become a victim. You feel betrayed, by society. You feel betrayed by your fellow man. You feel an uncertainty from that point on about your safety, no matter where you are. Being alert and aware of your surroundings is something that most of us are not. Unless we've been a victim, then we become very alert and aware of what's going on normally around us. Do you basically feel safe?
Recently, I don't feel safe anywhere in terms of the proliferation of guns and the fact that they're portable and they have been used in a variety of settings, not only in certain neighborhoods.
I live here in the condo and I don't feel safe at night.
You live here on the
after
view?
9:30.
You live here on the bluff here?
Oh yeah, over there.
Right at the foot of the Walnut Street Bridge there, there's condos. That's where I live.
I live in Brainerd. I feel extremely safe. A lot of times don't even lock the house. It's just dumb and happy, I guess. I just trust everybody.
Have you ever been a victim of a crime?
Never have.
The last 3 years that I served as police chief, we had a decrease in violent crime, and I believe last year was also a decrease in violent crime for the city for Chief Dodd in his first year. We have been opposite that of most of the major cities, even in Tennessee, as far as violent crime goes. The police force is 400 strong. If it's staff complete, it's 470, 475. We have identified some 300 people within our city, but in the same avenue of identifying these people, we've taken over 100 of those people off the street and have them incarcerated.
Where do you think prevention measures can be successful?
Prevention starts at home. And it takes a community effort, period. And if it don't start at home, it don't matter how many programs we as a society or a community or as a city put on. If those people leave home, go to attend our program for an 8-hour day or a 40-hour week, and then return home to the same environment, situations, problems that they're living under, we haven't changed anything. My son was lucky enough to get into the magnet school system, in our public school system, and he got into Lakeside Elementary. The first year became a magnet school, the first elementary school. So he entered that school through the lottery program and then graduated from Tyner High School. When he entered the elementary school, the magnet school, you have to devote a certain number of hours in the school. That ought to be mandatory everywhere. Ought to be mandatory everywhere for parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever in children's lives, because it makes a difference. If you're in the school, and even a neighbor, don't have to be a relative, a neighbor who see a child acting up, it's not going to happen. These young people that band together and then create crimes or disruption or destruction within our cities are allowed to do so. We have to stop allowing that as citizens, as homeowners, as stakeholders within our city. We have to band together that much more to make sure they don't have the upper hand. And they're not all bad. They're not all lost. Some of them are. Some of them have to be written off. Some of them have to be removed from our areas, but all of them don't. Sometimes it just takes somebody getting involved.
I'm a school social worker, and so I file petitions every year on truancy for the kids that don't come to school. What will
Truancy is not enforced even in the city to a big degree.
Well, we have a system within the school system. If they've missed 5 days, we actually file on them, or we're supposed to. But the amazing thing is so many parents don't even show up to court. Even when a petition's been filed, a warrant is put out for them, and sometimes, it has to be put out, like 2 times a warrant before the parent actually comes. And most of the time, because of the way the laws are written for juveniles, the judge's hands are really tied as to what they can do. And so the family learns very quickly that not a whole lot's going to happen. And,
Kids do.
And the kids do, and the word spreads. And so that threat, like you talked about with the speeding ticket that then you're going to watch, it really isn't that effective with the kids
No deterrent.
at all.
They don't fear nothing.
No. So, really, it takes a community involvement, just like you're saying.
If people were to get involved, because I think everyone needs a caring adult in their lives, and in an ideal world, it's parents, or grandparents or whatever, but it can be the next door neighbor, or it can be somebody just in the community that volunteers for a mentoring program.
How do we get people with their busy lives and working 2 jobs or 3 jobs just to make ends meet? Now, how do we get more people caring, loving role models to get
Would a
involved?
series of newspaper articles kind of start people thinking, some kind of
I don't know,
little light bulb needs to go up there?
And you've got the baby boomers, that some of whom have some time, if they were to choose to do this, that maybe aren't working and that are busy, but if you, like you say, I mean, if it were clear what the path is or what the options might be,
Like you say, if the parents gone, then somebody has to step in, because that's our future. That's all of our future right there. If they're not taking care of us in later years, we're lost. Because somebody's got to rerun this thing. The city, the state, the country. Who's going to do that?
And that is an amazing note to end on. I think you deserve a big round of applause.